Thank you for inviting me here. Let me give you an overview of what B-Plas is. So wastewater treatment plants are often referred to as biorefineries, but there are various ways to characterize this definition, right? So in B-Plas, we started with two premises. Municipal, industrial, and agri-food sludge show growth trends in terms of quantities and overall cost for treatment and disposal, while the European Union and national regulation are becoming more and more strict. On the other side, plastics are indispensable material for our economy, and nonetheless, they create increasing environmental problems. At the same time, their production chain depends dramatically from fossil raw materials. The good news here is that many of them can be replaced by more sustainable biopolymers. Now, the EU waste hierarchy prioritizes prevention, reduction, and recycling, right? And these strategies altogether can really change the game and our society in better. B-Plas meets this EU call and approach waste reduction and waste recycling together, offering an innovative solution that converts and upcycles the organic carbon, the COD, of wastewaters and sludge into biodegradable bioplastics called polyhydroxyalkanoates, PHA. At the same time, cutting by 70% the sludge to be disposed of and returning sanitized water to the system, to the plant itself. B-Plas integrates consolidated thermal and mechanical treatments and an innovative biological fermentation using mixed microbial cultures to convert the volatile fatty acids into bioplastic in a new process then can be implemented into a wastewater treatment plant, because this is not pharmaceutical chemistry, is normal, standard, somehow fermentation ways of treating sludge. What I think is the key, will be the key of our success. The B-Plas innovative know-how is supported by an inside acceptance group and is accelerated by the DME Filtration, that's a company inside of acceptance group, that provides financial resources as well as engineering expertise and proprietary technologies. Acceptance group is the fertile soil where B-Plas seed can grow and bloom, where alone could be much more difficult. Altogether, it's an ideal synergy for acceptance group, strategic and operative, to definitely enter the circular economy and play an active role in the transformation of the wastewater treatment plants into the future biorefineries.
So what is your output plastics, which you mentioned? What can you do with it?
Actually, the plastics that comes out of the plant is a raw material again. So it's not a ready material to be transformed immediately in such a glass or whatever. It's a B2B business, because this is a raw material that compounders should take and transform into something with additives and mixing, compounding into something valuable for the market.
If I understand right, you give the microbiological cultures to, when do you apply this to the sludge or to the wastewater? When do you give that to the wastewater?
Actually, we start from sludge.
You take it from the sludge.
From the sludge.
If the sludge is dewatered, or when?
We have two modules, okay?
Okay.
The first module we call B-Sludge. That's the pre-treatment. So we get the sludge that can be also exhausted, for example, from a biogas plant, can be reconverted in something fermentable again through hydrothermal treatment first, and then acidogenic digestion to volatile fatty acids. The hydrothermal treatment degrades and converts some of the solid in the sludge, exhausted solid, into some soluble carbon available again. And an anaerobic fermentation transform this new soluble COD into volatile fatty acid. We stop this fermentation at the volatile fatty acid stage. We don't go to biogas. Biogas is not our desired product. And then we introduce the solid liquid separation step there, because we need to take out the solid that's definitely exhausted and reduced by 70%, more or less, from the liquid phase that contains this organic sludge that is sent to the aerobic fermentation with mixed microbial cultures. These volatile fatty acids in solution in the waters
Okay.
are further digested into polydroxyalkanoates. These polydroxyalkanoates actually are the fat in the body of these bacteria.
Can you apply this to each and every wastewater treatment installation?
Yes. Theoretically, yes. It depends on performance, of course. The process can be applied to whatever sludge. There are some constraints, of course, as always. The richer in, say, available biocarbon the sludge is, the better is for the performance, of course. But we can treat, for example, higher content of organic.
What is high?
For a biogas digestion, you have some threshold that is 20-25 gram per liter, right? We can treat higher contents because the bacteria can deal with higher contents of carbon in water. The point is, quite often, if we take an exhausted sludge from a biogas plant, the content is not high at all, okay? It's poor. But we can solubilize it and transform into something valuable again.
And how far are you in terms of rollouts? Did you pilot it? Did you have a full scale?
We piloted for 3 years in an agri-food industry in Italy, in the north of Italy. That was quite easy. Easy in terms of the sludge because it was a rich sludge. But it was digested from a biogas plant. So much of the available organic carbon was already used to produce biogas. And we had quite nice results. We piloted for 3 years. We stopped this pilot in last June. And now we are, let's say, dealing with two important parallel challenges. The first one is we are engineering the first plant, a multi-utility player in the north of Italy, around Milan. And we hope to build and start up this demo plant next year. And
Can you give a name for the multi-utility?
I'm not sure.
So that would be your proof of concept, your first full scale?
Yes, it is not a full scale because that it takes only part of the stream,
okay,
but is inside an industrial plant.
And you team up with a compound manufacturer so that your result product can be as well converted into something which then goes back into the plastic feed line. Okay.
Yeah. In that installation, we will not get the PHA out of the demo plant. We will get only the biomass rich in PHA because it is part of all this project, is part of a European funded project. And there is another player, Novamont, actually, who is going to convert this biomass into bioplastic.
And what's your business model? Are you going directly to the utilities or do you have a different approach?
We are approaching directly the multi-utilities and also private companies that have their own wastewater treatment plant inside.
What can they do with all the plastic afterwards?
Yeah, that's a great question, and we asked ourselves the same question at the beginning. They don't know anything with that. We exactly asked this: what should they do with this product? That's again a waste or a byproduct that they cannot sell or whatever because it's not their business. So the business model is we sell the plant and at the same time we define an agreement with them to buy back the raw material from them. We want to buy the plastic or the biomass, depends on the modules that we install. And then it's our problem to find compounders. That's a challenge inside the challenge.
Aren't you a plastic manufacturer for pipes?
We don't do the compounds, but we work with a compounder, of course, working for GF Piping Systems and returning that.
Yeah, I'm not sure that piping is the right let's say end of life for these byproducts, but we are thinking more to say agricultural products or fisheries or even cosmetic. Microplastic in cosmetics are transitioning to bioplastics because this is just dispersed in the environment and biodegradable bioplastics can at least biodegrade. Exactly.
So when do you expect your full scale?
We got European fundings inside the LIFE project. That's Cross Life is called, and we have to build 2 plants. They are demo plants again, but one of them, the second one, the replication plant, is actually a full scale because it will be built inside a small wastewater treatment plant in Italy. That should come around 2024.
Well, we'll have an eye out for that. Sounds really interesting.
We put it on the list.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Davide, for the pitch, and wish you good luck for the next steps with your startup.
Thank you so much.